How are you? I hope that you're all doing good. And as you see, my setting has changed now because we've actually relocated. So we're still in Florida, but further north. So I'm super happy to be bringing this video as a new location for Mommy's Love. So what are we going to be talking about today? Something that is really interesting, and probably you are going to have to confess like I have, or maybe if you're new to babies and to breastfeeding and all that good stuff, then maybe this is something that you've heard about and that you're maybe dreading. But I just want to clear up a few things, and really what we're going to talk about today is really why women shouldn't have to feel that they have to breastfeed in a bathroom, and why it's completely wrong and you just shouldn't do it. So I'll confess that I haven't done it many times, maybe once I think, because I definitely vowed that it would be something that I was totally against, and it's something that I just completely disagree with. Like, I don't understand why you would go into a bathroom really to breastfeed your baby. It's not like you're going to be pooing or peeing, you can't compare breastfeeding to that basically. So breastfeeding, first of all, it's something that is precious. It's a precious bonding activity between mom and baby. And the unfortunate thing is that in a lot of different places that we go out in public, especially big places like airports and malls and things like that, and even churches, there's a lack of proper lactation spaces, and there's a lot of negative stigma also in regards to breastfeeding your baby in public, and we'll go over the reasons why. Okay, so first of all, in regards to breastfeeding moms and the realities for breastfeeding moms, is that there's 100 million organizations right now that advocate for breastfeeding and that highlight all the benefits of breastfeeding. So we have a lot of support that's amazing in our community, and a lot of very well-known organizations that support breastfeeding and encourage breastfeeding, but that alone is not necessarily enough. Okay, in fact, the AAP recommends that you breastfeed your baby exclusively to 6 months, and then complementary with food up to a year and beyond. So there's a lot of, and the World Health Organization, there's a lot of different organizations out there that support breastfeeding. But the reality is that moms many times feel shamed for breastfeeding, or discriminated for breastfeeding in public, and made to feel like they're doing some sort of violation or indecency. And that's where the root of the problem starts. And that's why many women are forced to kind of go into bathrooms to have to breastfeed your baby. But there's actually dangers that come with breastfeeding your baby in a bathroom. I mean, if you think about it, it's completely contaminated with bacteria, because that's where we go to poo and peep, which has bacteria. Okay, and people are not necessarily the most hygienic people always, so you can find bacteria from the doorknobs or the handles or the toilet paper dispenser or the walls. And a lot of moms sit on the toilet seat to breastfeed their babies, which is completely wrong. So breastfeeding your baby is like giving food to your baby, or even if you're pumping, that's the same thing. You're dispensing the food for your baby, and you wouldn't go to a bathroom and eat a sandwich, or you wouldn't go to like Chipotle or Subway or McDonald's to buy your food and then go eat it in the restroom, right? No, that would be completely wrong. And it's the same thing with breastfeeding. You're just breastfeeding or pumping, you're just nursing your child. Okay, you're providing nourishing food for your child. There's nothing wrong with that, and you should never feel ashamed of doing that. Okay, so the 5 reasons really, or the top reasons why you should never breastfeed your baby or pump in a bathroom. Okay, first of all, is because you are providing nourishing food for your baby. You're just feeding your baby. A bottle feeding mom wouldn't be asked to go into the bathroom to feed her baby, so you shouldn't be either. Okay, there's absolutely no shame in breastfeeding your baby. It's something completely normal and completely natural that you're doing. The problem is really that breasts are being over sexualized in our society, and people have a problem with seeing breasts exposed in the open to breastfeed babies. So breasts are a lot more than just sexual objects, and they were not specifically designed to be sexual objects. They were designed to be the source of nourishment for your baby. Okay, and the other thing is, moms have to feel comfortable when they're out in public breastfeeding their baby. It's not just like you pop out your boob and put on your baby. And there's a lot of challenges that come with like the letdown reflex. You have to be comfortable. You can't be nervous or agitated to breastfeed your baby. You have to feel comfortable, okay? And you're not going to be feeling very comfortable and at peace when you're in a bathroom. And the last thing, but most important thing, is that it's your right. The law, federal law, backs you up that you can breastfeed your baby in any public space whenever you want and for however long you want, okay? So you're protected by the law also. Now, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in regards to breastfeeding laws, because it's not really as simple as, oh, okay, all 50 states have breastfeeding laws that protect moms. It's not that simple. There's a lot of changes in the actual passing of the laws that need to be made. And although, like I said, all 50 states legalize breastfeeding, only 29 exempt breastfeeding from public indecency, okay? So that leaves like another another big chunk, 29 that's almost 30, so that would be like 21 of the states still need to make it clear that it's not legal, it's not public indecency, okay? Also, there's a lot of states that need to actually provide, need to not provide, but need to kind of encourage big places, like I said, like airports or malls, to provide more spaces where moms can breastfeed. If you think about it, how many moms have you seen like recently that are like, when you're in a busy place where there's a lot of people, that are actually sat there publicly breastfeeding their baby? There's not many, because a lot of moms feel intimidated or ashamed to breastfeed their babies or pump, especially also. So we should have places that provide that atmosphere or that setting where moms can breastfeed or pump for their babies, okay? The other thing too is there are only some states that like excuse breastfeeding moms from jury duty. So there should be also certain exemptions for moms that are breastfeeding because of the demands that breastfeeding entail. So the important thing really is to check out your state, okay, and see what goes along with the breastfeeding laws that have been put in place so that you're protected, okay? And another breastfeeding law that you should look at too is federal law also requires like employers to provide a setting that is like not a toilet, okay, or not just a corner somewhere, that is ample and comfortable enough for you to be able to pump or breastfeed. So that's an important regulation in regards to breastfeeding. And you should have also ample break times for breastfeeding or for pumping for your baby, okay? It's really, really important that you exercise that right too, because a lot of employers don't respect that right and don't think it's a big deal. So it's really important that you let your employer know ahead of time before you start your breastfeeding journey what you're expecting of them, because of what the law has implied that you're supposed to have, okay? It's really, really important. And I'd love to know your stories in regards to breastfeeding public. How did it go for you? Was it a process? Like, did you have to start to feel comfortable with it, or did you just feel comfortable right from the start? It's really interesting to find out. And the most important thing is really for us to do it. The more we expose breastfeeding public, the more we expose our society to what's going on, and the more that we normalize breastfeeding, the more comfortable people are going to feel with it, the more educated they're going to become, and it's going to become like a normal thing for our generations to come. So it's also up to us moms. We have a big job to do, and that's part of our advocating for breastfeeding. Besitos, mommies. Love you.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you give us a thumbs up and you share it with another mommy that can find it useful. Also, hit subscribe. That way you'll get to see all our latest amazing videos that we're doing. I've also included below in the description of this video all our links for our social media so that you can follow us and be part of our community, our discounts, our giveaways. Awesome, mommies. Bye.